So good evening. If you can hear me, type hi so as we can continue. Okay. So last week we looked into many things. We looked into okay. So we are live. So welcome. This is the Forex Dynasty, where we are trying to reach to each and every young person who has been this forex market, maybe and make losses. So we are trying to reach to that person so as he or she can be able to minimize on the losses and maximize on the profits. And also for those who has not gotten an experience about maybe trading or anything, they can be able to learn this, to acquire the skill and be able to take trades either by using the signals that we send or maybe even having analysis by themselves. So tonight, on last week we did on candlesticks, and also we did on the bullish bearish markets. So this week did on Friday, did you finish up on bearish candlesticks? Did you do bearish candlesticks? If you did on bearish candlesticks, maybe you can type yes. If not, type no. Did you do on bearish candlesticks on Friday? Because I was not with you. No. So maybe I can what did you do on Friday? What did you do on Friday? Which topic did you do on Friday? Chart patterns, bullish or bearish? You did bearish candlesticks. Okay, which reversal chart patterns? Bullish reversals. Okay. So maybe I can finish up on the bearish candlesticks, and now maybe niguzie on chart patterns. Remember, this is the last week that we are together as beginners. I guess this is the last week. And let's see. I guess naangalia nini kama hii ndo wiki ya mwisho. Kidogo tu nione. Okay. So I guess hii wiki ndo itakuwa, because today is on Monday, that is 23 plus 5 plus 4, 27. Yes, this is the na tuko March. So this might be the last week, because on Monday we'll be starting a new class with advanced a new beginner class. So for those who are new to this channel, or maybe when you are in between the month, you can feel free kurudia, because we'll be starting a fresh new class on Monday next week. Yes, so we'll have a new beginner class, and this week will be the last class. So I don't know, let me just deal with bearish bearish candlesticks, then maybe reversals. Then I can request our CEO maybe for one day where we can maybe have a one-on-one class, maybe on Zoom, kwenye tunaweza enda kuset up our trading view na MetaTrader 5. So let's dig into today's topic. So leo nimesema tunaangalia nini? Bearish candlesticks. Let's see. Let's open up a whiteboard ya kuandika. So on bearish candlesticks, just as we said on bullish candlesticks, these are just an extra confirmation that if you get the market has come back to your zone, these are just extra confirmation for you to take those sells. So which are these candlesticks that we are talking about? So just a minute, ni connect laptop yangu isizime. So there are 5 bearish confirmation candles. There are 5 bearish confirmation candles, which include, number 1, we have a bearish engulfing. We have a bearish engulfing. So let's write it down for those maybe who takes down the notes. So these are bearish confirmation candles. Confirmation candles. We've said we have 5. There are 5, which include, okay, there are 5. Then we can say we identify them on a bearish market. We identify them on a bearish market. Number 2, we identify them on a higher low. We identify them on a higher low. Since we said a bearish market moves like this, moves by a bearish. Okay, that is a bullish. So we said, let me just nipanguza nichore upya. We said a bearish market moves like by forming lower lows and lower high. So a bearish market moves like this. A bearish market moves like that. So we said we take our trades on a lower high. So this is our entry zone in a bearish market. Our entry zone in a bearish market is on a higher, lower, high. Our entry zone will be at this point. This is entry point 1, entry point 2, entry point 3, and entry point 4. So we've said in a bearish market, we identify them on these candlesticks. We are going to identify them obvious in a bearish market, that is a market that is on a downward trend. Then number 2, we are going to identify these candlesticks on a lower high. So upper, where is our zone, that is a lower high, that is where we are going to look for these candlesticks. Now, which candlesticks are we talking about now? Which candlesticks are we talking about? Number 1, we can say they include number one, you can say you have a bearish engulfing. We have a bearish engulfing. Number two, we have a bullish, evening star. We have an evening star. Number three, we have shooting star. A shooting star. We have a shooting star. Number four, we have a tweezer top. We have a tweezer top. And number five, we have hanging man. We have a hanging man. So how does they look like? So let's see how they present themselves, how they look like on a market. So let's start with the bearish engulfing. Just as the bullish engulfing is said, now this will be the opposite of it. So meaning they have to be two candles. They have to be two. It has to look like this. And the color really matters. The color really matters. The color really matters. The red, it has to first start with a green candle, then a red candle, where the green candle is a bit smaller than the red candle, meaning the red candle ni kubwa ina engulf the green candle. That's why we are calling it a bearish engulfing. That's why we are calling it a bearish engulfing. Then we have an evening star. We have an evening star which looks like this. An evening star, we said an evening star, just as the morning star, it tends to bulge on the sides. Then number three, we have said we have a shooting star. Now a shooting star is the same as a it's the same thing as a hammer kwa bullish market. So a shooting star will look like this. No, it's the same as an inverted hammer. A shooting star is the same thing as an inverted hammer, since it will look like this. This is a shooting star. Then we have a hanging man. We have a hanging man, which is now a hammer tukienda kwa bullish candlesticks. So ikikuja hapa kwa bearish, tunaita aje hii? Tunaita, remember this was a bearish, bullish engulfing. Now when it comes to bearish candlesticks, this is a bearish engulfing, where the green one sasa ndo ndogo, red inakuwa kubwa. Then a morning star, when it comes to bearish confirmation, it's now called a evening star. An evening star yenye ilikuwa a hammer, tunaita aje? A hanging man. Why are we calling it a hanging man? Junaona it's like mtu mwili iko juu, kichwa iko chini. So this is a hanging man. Then we have a shooting star. We have a shooting star, which is a inverted hammer tukienda kwa bullish confirmations. Then lastly, we have a tweezer top. We have a tweezer top where it is there. It looks like this. A tweezer top looks like this. And also here, the color really matters. The color really matters. So This is how you are going to identify them on a market. We have said this is a bearish engulfing, an evening star, a hanging man, a shooting star, and also a tweezer top. So after that, we need to go to a live market to try to identify now the candlesticks that we have tunaenda kuzi-identify on a live market. We are going to try to identify them on a live market. So you open up your trading view, tujaribu tuone na after tumeziona how do you take a trade after you have identified now the reversal, the confirmation candles. How do you enter the trade? How do you enter the trade? So let's start with gold tuone. Let me just do a small analysis on this gold tuone. So let's see where it's heading. So hii gold iliamka ikiwa bearish, but it's kind of rejecting. It's rejecting a zone. It's reacting on a zone. It's reacting on a zone here. It's reacting on this zone. So it's kind of rejecting this zone. So ili sell massively, but inaweza kuwa ina reject hii zone, meaning it can be buying. So hebu tuone, it might be buying from that zone. Let's see, cha tuone, just a small analysis tuone where we are heading on gold. It's kind of reacting on that zone. Acha tuone kama ili form in reversal chart pattern ya kumaanisha imechange nini trend, but it seems to be reacting on that zone. It's forming something like yes, it has already confirmed the trend has changed. It has confirmed the trend has changed. Why? Imeform something like inverted head and shoulder. You are taught about the bullish reversals. Now, this is a clear indication of a bullish reversal. Why? The market was bearish. The market was bearish, but imeform a reversal chart pattern that you were taught on Friday. That is a bearish. This is a inverted head and shoulder. It has formed a clear inverted head and shoulder. But what were you told? When it forms a reversal chart pattern like this one now, an inverted head and shoulder, which looks like this, which looks like this, you are told the shoulders, they have to be within the same zone. The shoulders, they have to be within the same zone. That's why kwanza nimechora hii rectangle kuona kama the shoulders are within the same zone, and you can see these shoulders are within the same zone. So what are you told about reversal chart pattern? For you to take a trade in this market, you have to wait for a breakout out of these shoulders hapa. Lazima kuwe na a breakout out of this zone, then a retracement for more buys. But already ishatuambia this market, it's no longer bearish. The market is no longer bearish. Isha change the trend to be bullish. So when you're going to lower time frames now, you're going to be looking for any buying opportunity and not a selling opportunity. You're going to be looking for a buying opportunity. We are going to be looking for a buying opportunity when you go to lower time frames. That is when you're going to be looking for a buying opportunity. Also, when you go to a 15 minutes, it has confirmed again. It has confirmed again with a double bottom. You can see this is a double bottom. This is a double bottom, meaning it's just an extra confirmation that this market is being bullish. The market has changed from being bearish to bullish. From being bearish to bullish. Okay. So for those who maybe who are taking a trade, the trend has changed on gold and it's no longer bearish. It's no longer bearish, ishaanza kuchange kukua bullish. So kama uko kwa trade na maybe ulikuwa umechukua sales, you can maybe just, I don't know, kunalingana umeingia hizo sales wapi na pia kwenye una target, but the general trend it's kind of changing, it's shifting from bullish to bearish to bullish. The trend has changed from being bearish to bullish. So what were we going to look for here when we came here? We are going to look for the candlestick confirmation. We are going to look for candlesticks confirmation. We said for this candlesticks confirmation, we said we are going to look them on lower time frames. And which lower time frames are we talking about here? We are talking about 30 minutes, 15 or even 5. We are going to look them on a 15, 5, 30, 15 or 5. That is lower time frames, because those are the time frames that we are going to use to enter our market. Since we said this, we are day traders and not long term, not swing traders or position traders. We are day traders and scalpers. So for scalpers, they can use maybe kuingia market na 5, 3, 1 minute, any of them, or even and sometimes 30. But that is for day traders mostly. So it's you use the time frame yenye unaingia nayo market, and tulisema for any time frame yenye unaingia nayo, like you have identified a confirmation candle on a 15 minutes or nini, use that you enter the market using that time frame. If it is a 5 minutes, you are waiting for that engulfing, enter the market using the 5 minutes time frame. But now mwingine ataniuliza, is there a difference between kuingia na 1 hour time frame, a 30 minutes time frame? No. Yes, there is a difference. Why? The presentation of the chart, but the entry point will be the same. But ukiangalia like now, if you are to enter these buys, kwa hii inaitwaje, this gold, because this is a buy, tungeingia aje hapa for now. For such a market, you can see this market ilikuwa tu kuna candlesticks, they were hazikuconfirm na engulfing. So where tungeingia market hivi? No, that is a long position, a short position. Let's take a long position. Tungeingililia hapa after imeconfirm na this engulfing candle. You can see there is this engulfing candle here, but our stop loss will be below this zone. Hii zone yenye ilikuwa ina react hapo. So and we would have targeted where tunaweza target this high. We can target this high or even kwenye iko tu si mbaya. So but you can see this is a 15 minutes imekupea this engulfing. But now when you go to which one, something like 1 hour, haiko, you can see there is no engulfing, you see. So you have to use that specific time frame. But now you see, kama aliingia na 30, huyu mwenye aliingia na 30 kama alikuwa na angeongoja pia this engulfing yenye iko hapa, if alikuwa ingia na 30. Unaona? So for you to enter a market, you have to use the time frame and you may identify that confirmation candle. That is the time frame that you use to take a trade. Okay, but the entry zone for all time frames inakwanga the same. You can see like for now this market is at 43.20, 44.20, it's ranging 44.21 huko. When you go to 15, it's the same, haija change, it's at 44.21. When you go to 1 hour, it's the same, it's ranging there, 21.20, 21.20. You can see it's within the same zone. The entry point haita change, but now the confirmation candles will vary because of the different time frames that you're going to be using. Okay, so any person with a question na there? So kuna mwenye anauliza, for the signals from the CEO, what time does he use to give the signals? So one thing you need to note, for the signals that we send to our group, they are for scalp trading. They are not for day trading. Those are scalp trades. What do I mean by scalp trades? Those are trades that yenye unaingia kwa market. For those scalp trades, we normally target maybe 50 pips or 100 pips. Ni kitu unaingia kwa market na ukiwa umetoka. Ni kitu ya kuingia kwa market na unatoka. Those are normally scalp trades. They are normally scalp trade signals. So na uzuri ya scalp trade inakwanga nini? One, inakwanga uzuri yake inakwanga, one, you make money very fast. How? For you to make money using scalp trade, you have to use a larger lot size. And the moment you have used that larger lot size, if profits come flowing in, they come in bulk. That is one advantage of the scalp trade. That is one of the. Then for scalp trade, unaweza ingia so many entries within one day. Unaingia you can enter so many nini inaitwaje, unaweza ingia trades mingi within one day. So okay, let me just read these comments. For this, Robin Mwita anasema, can I get a mentor please? I'm new here and lost. So for Robin Mwita, I've said, when we're starting our class, I said this is a Forex Dynasty. So welcome, for maybe if you're new, where we are trying to reach to that person mwenye, if he has been trading, maybe he has been constantly been running in losses. We are trying to reduce, to empower the person with knowledge to be able to reduce the losses and maximize on the profits by trying to teach our strategy that we normally use. Then we've said we normally have 4 classes in a day. That is an 8 a.m. class, a 3 p.m. class, an 8 p.m. class, and a 9 p.m. class, where the 2 sessions, they are the Zamchana, that is 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. class. Those are normally for live market analysis. Then we have the evening classes, that is hii yenye tuko sahi, 8 p.m. class and also 9 p.m. class, where the 8 p.m. class is normally a beginner class and the 9 p.m. class is normally an advanced class. So if you are new here, this is a continuing beginner class. A continuing beginner class yenye inaisha this weekend. That is on Friday. Inaisha on Friday, but we have a new beginner class that will be starting on Monday. Kuna class itakuwa inaanzia Monday. So if you are new here, you can maybe just continue with us. Then on Monday, you can rejoin the class for a new beginner class that will be starting. I've said for the signals that we normally send to our group, I've said they are normally scalp trade, meaning hizo ni trades zenye unaingia kuhold for just a few. We said who are scalpers. These are the traders who hold their trades for a few seconds to a few minutes, meaning that is not a long-term trade. Ni unaingia after maybe you have achieved the number of pips that you are targeting. Maybe if you are targeting 50 pips and you are out of the market. Then is there a beginner class please? This is a beginner class yenye tunasoma sahi, but if you are new here you can just wait to rejoin a new beginner class that will be starting next week. For Benjamin, I personally taught about the bullish confirmation, but on Friday I was not around, where you are introduced about the pattern. So if you missed the bullish confirmation candles, you can review the Thursday's class. So if you're not a scalper, can you trade the signals? I've said those are wewe ndo utaamua the type of trader that you want. If you're not a scalper, maybe unaweza kuwa naingia for our analysis that we normally do in the morning, and maybe wait for those day trades to reach to the entry zones that we normally give. Do we have VIP channels? Yes, we have VIP channels, but we said for you to join the VIP channel, you have to do a deposition on your account and send a screenshot to our CEO. You just email him, or you just text him on the Telegram about the entry. So sasa nyinyi wenye mko hapa hii beginner, mkishamaliza you'll be now joining the 9 p.m. class. You'll be joining the 9 p.m. class, which is inaitwaje, which starts on 9. It starts on 9. So after we are done with this class, you'll be joining the 9 p.m. class. That is from Monday. So thank you, Paul. What is a pip? Tulisema what is a pip. Swing trade tulisema this is trade yenye traders wenye they hold their trades for a few days to weeks. For the VIP, I guess it's any amount. Just deposit and send a screenshot, and if you have sent the screenshot na hujahudumiwa, then be patient. Our team will be working on it. I've said for the beginners, we have a new beginner class that will be starting soon. That is on Monday. So you can just continue with us. Then on Monday we'll have a new beginner class that will be starting, because this is a continuing beginner class. Yes, for each and every trade you have to use risk management. You have to use risk management. We do not have pool trading, but we have copy trading. And for copy trading, we are doing a minimum of 5,000 USD. For copy trading, you are doing a minimum of 5,000 USD. And if you want to do any copy trading, you can just email our CEO. You can just you can maybe WhatsApp him, or text him on his Telegram channel. So about the deposition on a trade, kuna lingana. If you want to trade gold, I would highly, maybe a minimum of maybe 100 or 200. But if you want to start on currencies only, maybe you can start with a $50. Scalp natumia risk management. Yes, for each and every trade you have to use nini. If for more information about the copy trading, just inbox the CEO, atakuelezea. Okay, so let's continue with the class. At least nimewahudumia for the comment section. So I've said, let's now go to try to identify the confirmation candles that we are talking about. For example, and I want answers maybe in the Telegram. Kwa Telegram na nijibu. Which candlestick confirmation do we have here? We said this is a bearish market where we look for entry on a higher low. So let's go to higher lows. We try to look for confirmation. Let's use a 15 minutes time frame. So on a higher low, this is a higher low. Which confirmation candle do we have there? Which confirmation candle? Let me zoom it out. Is it zoom in or zoom out? Which confirmation candle do we have there? Which confirmation? One is saying a shooting star. Which confirmation do we have at this point? We have a hanging man. Why? You can see, I normally say for the shooting star, the hanging man, and evening star, I highly recommend unaenda na candlestick presentation of the trend yenye uko. Like now for this one, you can see we have this one, a shooting star and also a hanging man, but now the shooting star have a bullish momentum and a hanging man have a bearish momentum. So if you are to enter this trade, ungeingia with which one? Here hanging man, since hiyo ndo iko na a bearish momentum, ungeingia na hii bearish momentum. Then stop loss ungeiweka wapi? Above hiyo wiki ya ya shooting star. Okay, and ungetarget wapi? That low. Okay, so let's go to zone B. Niambie which confirmation candle do we have at that point? Which confirmation candle do we have at this point? And this is a very good one. It's rare unapatana na this one. It's rare you find it, but this one is a good one. We have found it. So which candlestick confirmation do we have here? Comment section. I want to see which candlestick confirmation do we have there at this point. Let me zoom it in out. Upper. Which confirmation candle do we have at this point? Zone B. This one. Which confirmation candle? A tweezer what? Which tweezer? Which tweezer? We have a tweezer top and a tweezer bottom. So which tweezer are we talking about here? Which tweezer are we talking about here? Which tweezer are we talking about here? A shooting star. Shooting star. Which confirmation candle are we talking about there? Hapa. The area yenye nimecircle. The circled area. Which confirmation are we talking about there? Which confirmation candle? Yes, we have a tweezer top. Then remember about a tweezer top, we said the size does not really matter. The tweezer top, the size does not really matter, meaning inaweza kuja ikiwa let me just do it this. A tweezer top can present itself like this one, meaning as long as the body haina weak side ya chini, since it ikue a hanging man, not a hanging man, ikue a shooting star zenye, is it hanging? Yes, ikue a shooting star zenye hakuna wicks chini, the size does not really matter, but the color matters, meaning a green one inaweza kuwa kubwa kuliko the red one as long as it is a shooting star, as long as ni shooting star, but the size does not really matter, but the color really matters. Meaning unaona kama hii, the green candle, it's a bit larger than the red candle, but the color is that the one that you are going to consider. So if you are to take a trade in this market, what would we have done? Would have taken a short position at the closure of this tweezer. This is where our entry point would have been. Just a minute, niweke vizuri. Then our stop loss would be slightly above the wicks of the confirming candle. There. Then we would have targeted where? Let's see. We would have targeted this low first. That low. Or this low. Kuna hii yenye ina react hapa. There. So, but this would have worked with TP1. Would have gone with TP1, TP2, and TP3, where this would have been our TP1, this zone, that zone. Then TP2 would be where? Here. That would have been this zone, would have been our TP2, and also TP3, where would have ingekuwa this zone, that zone. So would have worked with 3 zones, where our TP1, TP2, and TP3. I want to identify another higher low. Mniambie which confirmation candle do we have there. Well, for example, we have this one. At this zone, because this is a higher low yote. At this zone, which candlestick confirmation can you try to identify at that zone? This zone, zone 3, hapa. Which candlestick confirmation can you identify there? Which confirmation candle do we have there? I want to see in the comment section. We have a hangman, a doji, So for beyond, I said, for me, I don't take a doji as a confirmation candle. I don't take a doji as a confirmation candle. This is what he's calling a doji. So for me, I don't take it as a confirmation candle. Why? I take doji as an indecisional candle, meaning ilifunguka na ikafunga within the entry zone kwenye iliingililia. So for me, I don't take it as a confirmation candle. I take it as a indecisional candle. A doji to me is an indecisional candle. It's not a confirmation candle. It is an indecisional candle. Haiku make decision. Haiku make kama inaenda juu ama inashuka. Iliamka, ilifunguka na ikafunga within the entry zone. So for me, a doji is not a confirmation candle. Which confirmation candle do we have there? We have an evening star. Correct. A hanging man, evening star, and a tweezer top. Let's see. So, is it a hanging man or is it a shooting star? Is it a hanging man or is it a shooting star? It's a shooting star and a evening star. It's a shooting star and an evening star. For this one, it is not a valid hanging man since iko na wicks kidogo. So it's not a valid one. So for this one, we have a confirmation of a evening star and a shooting star. Then maybe let's try to identify the third part ya mwisho. At this zone, which confirmation candle do we have here? For this one, we have a bearish engulfing, but now I highly advise ukiona an engulfing yenye imefunga with a large body, it's better sometimes avoid your market cause the moment inaweza kuwa imefunga na hiyo large body hivyo na isha take the whole movement ya kwenye ilifaa ishuke up to. So sometimes when the body closes with a large body, I highly recommend you ignore you maybe look for another entry. Then we have this one here. Let me just remove this rectangle. We have this one here. Which confirmation do we have here? One, we have an engulfing. We have an engulfing here. So with that, I hope each and every one of you now can be able to identify bearish confirmation candles, and also after you have identified them, I hope each and every one of you can be able to use them to enter a trade. I hope you can be able to use them to enter that particular trade yenye ume identify. So with that, we can call it a night. Have a good night. Let's meet tomorrow the same time at 8 p.m. or maybe kwa mchana, classes za mchana, you never know. So any question before we call it a night? Any question before we call it a night? Okay, if no questions, let's call it a night. Tupatane kesho the same time.